the stage from Aalto Ventures Program, Portyr.
Why should I do it?
Portyr.
Good. Man, like, effing good pictures. What the hell? This is really, really great, like, collection. Anyway, I'll get straight to it. So, this is you, and this is you with all of your data scattered all across the internet with all the apps and services that you use. Now, imagine that there is a law coming out next year, and it says that you can go to any of these guys and you can get your data back. It's called General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR for short. I'm sure you've heard of it. And that makes you a massive pain in the ass for companies. Here's why. Imagine you go to a company, you send them an email, and you say, give me all of my data, I want to see what you have. And the company goes, well, I don't know where the data, I don't know where it is, so sorry, can't do it, it's impossible. You get pissed off, you complain to the Data Protection Authority, who audit the company and fine them for up to 20 million euros, or 4% of the annual revenue of that company worldwide, whichever is greater. They should have used our software. My name is Sebastian Nemeth, and I'm CEO and co-founder of Portyr. We're building software as a service solution for businesses to manage personal data. Our software lets companies map out what data they collect, why they collect it, and with whom they share it, and publish that information in a secure online data profile that lets their users, their employees, and their customers log in, take control, and essentially do GDPR for them. We provide out of the box a predefined structure for personal data so that compliance teams in companies can just pick and choose data instead of having to argue about what data is in and out and what it should look like between all the different departments. In fact, our whole software platform is built to get the right people doing the right things and shortcut companies from time-consuming, expensive tasks that have little to no compliance value. But look, there are literally hundreds of businesses coming up out of the woodwork at the moment promising GDPR compliance. And honestly, it's bullshit. The best a company who's being audited can hope for at the moment is to be able to prove that the compliance activities that they took had a real-world, meaningful impact for those users, customers, and employees that are supposed to receive those rights at the end of the day. And the fastest, most cost-effective way to do that is to build a user interface that delivers a customer service experience. And that's exactly what we're doing. Fast, affordable, sensible first steps towards GDPR compliance that doesn't need software development. Now, our buyers are the CIOs, CTOs, and legal counsels at SMEs who are too big to do anything, too big to ignore this, but too small to do anything about it themselves. We sell them a monthly recurring subscription, scaling up per user in the compliance team. Our team's incredibly blessed. We have tech, legal, and design competence in our founding team, as well as social digital communications and UX and interactions. Our advisor is Stefano Mosconi, who's a co-founder of Yola Phones, and our partners are Wave and Lifeline Ventures. All we're asking is for you to remember us when we're going for a seed round next year. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we've got talking. Excellent. So I'm all about my data and blockchain.
Yeah.
Technology. I'm excited what you're doing. This is a great market. You can make a whole lot of money with this. So what is the technology I need to know?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but first things first, we're not using blockchain.
Of course not. I understand that.
Yeah. So our technology is twofold. It's quite basic. On the one hand, it's essentially a publishing content management system. But then our secret sauce is the fact that we have a predefined ontology, a structure, a proposition for how personal data should look like. That's the uniting factor, because that's where the communication breaks down internally in companies with their compliance. But it's also the key to being able to create interoperable services between companies. Without that common understanding, there can be no data portability. There can be no digital future of the GDPR.
I'd love to talk technology with you a little bit later.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited by your start. Great.
Thank you.
Actually, I would also well with technology. How do you explain the data? Do you connect the data to the different data warehouses, or what kind of?
We don't touch the data. So at this stage, we're dealing exclusively with the structure of data and mapping that to a company's internal intents and processes and the legal requirements. Once we have that sorted out, and once we have a unified system for all of that, built under a central understanding of what the data structure should be, then we can start focusing on services that can actually effectively transmit data securely and between people. That's it. Okay, thank you.